north of Ado-Ekiti flows a sacred river known as Omieri, the river of divine fishes. Here, the waters do more than nourish the land. They carry the spirit of a goddess. Local legend tells of a powerful deity who transformed herself into this river, leaving behind as sacred children the fishes that swim within. To harm them is taboo. To eat them unthinkable. According to the people, no matter how long this fish boils, it will never soften. And anyone who dares to defile the sacred order by catching or cooking a fish from Omieri will face the wrath of the goddess herself.
Ẹja tó wà ńbẹ̀ wọn kì í pa ẹgẹt wọn kì í pa ẹrí gbogbo ọ̀pẹ tó wà lókè ńbẹ̀ yẹ wọn kì í da ẹja yẹ ló jẹ́ important jù fún ẹja etí erin kó o ṣe kò ní jiná wọn kì í pa gan kẹ́hìn gbọ́ mi sà wọn kì í pa ẹnìkan dán oníjọ́ kínní àná.
Kówé sùn kan yìí ṣe.
Kówé kò sí nǹkan tó ní ẹja yẹn máa ṣe pé tóun bá mú lọ léwọn á sè é ó ṣe ẹja yẹn títí tí ẹja yẹn ò jiná péjọ. Ejò wà láwárí ọ̀hún tí wọ́n pè ṣẹ́jú lẹ́jọ́ pé ó pẹja ẹni.
Kí làwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tó ń wá gbé lẹ́yìn yẹn?
Ó ṣètìtù ni.
Ètùtù rẹ̀ ló ètùtù ẹni ló ṣe bẹ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀sẹ̀ yá. Eku bó ti ṣètìtù.
Bó ti ṣètìtù rẹ̀ ó wà in life till now.
The Erin Ayonigba River is not only a site of mystery, but also of healing.
Òun lè dókítà rẹ̀ agidi. A gbọ́ mọ̀ èyí dókítà ló gbé kàí ló bímọ. Òun ló bá iṣẹ́. Òun la alágbo ìwòyá wo mọ́. Torí kó bá ti lóyún sínú, ẹbẹ̀ láti ẹ̀gbàgbọ́ títí fún mọ́kà mú ebi.
The people believe that its waters cleanse the body and spirit. They drink from it, bathe in it, and use it in their daily lives, trusting the river spirit to protect their community from harm.
Téèyàn bá gba àbọ̀dè, ojú ẹsẹ̀ yẹn ló ń bá lè rìn yẹn máa rí tán á padà.
Visitors often come to feed the sacred fish with bread, watching as they gather gracefully at the surface.
Àwọn òyìnbó àwọn nǹkan kan ìṣẹ̀ṣe tán máa wá náà wá mú bíi 5 litre táà fi rọ omi táà ṣàdúrà táà ṣe kí à gbàdúrà. Níjọ́ kan àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe ẹni tó rọ́mọ bí wá sísàlẹ̀ lọ́run àwa gbàdúrà fún wa ọdún kejì ẹ̀ ọwọ́ agbọ́mọyẹ wá tá a tún ṣàdúrà fún.
For the people of Eringio, Omieri is more than just the water. It is life, healing, and the heartbeat of their faith. Data according to the United Nations World Food Programme says 30.6 million Nigerians face acute food insecurity. Experts blame on many factors which include the security challenges in the North and Middle Belt, post-harvest losses, poor storage facility, and a couple of other issues. Over the years, there have been efforts at boosting food production in Nigeria, taking advantage of its over 70 million hectares of land, multiple agroecological zones, and a climate favorable for year-round farming. There have been several other such interventions by governments at council, state, and federal levels, including the Produce for Lagos program and the 500 billion naira guarantee fund scheme by the Lagos state government. In September, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Yari, said the prices of food items have crashed across the country, but some Nigerians differ, saying they are yet to feel the ease.
Before, we said chicken for it before, but now we sell 5,000 naira.
This one, before at the selling 300, now at the selling 500 because only it don't cost. Down at the selling, before at the selling 3,500, now at the selling 6,000. Everything don't cost.
About 2 months ago, we are buying the food. Like rice or back of rice is 70-something thousand naira, like 75, 78, 73. But now 60, 62, 50, 55 safe. So if I look, it's gone down now. Not say like if you have increasing the price now.
2025 marks the 80th anniversary of the annual World Food Day, which is celebrated on October the 16th every year. This year with the theme, Hand in Hand for Better Food and a Better Future, the United Nations target building a peaceful, sustainable, and food-secure future where everyone has access to a healthy diet. To achieve this, experts suggest the way forward must be comprehensive, from tackling insecurity to investing in climate resilience farming to improving storage, irrigation, and transportation systems. That's in addition to strengthening farmers' cooperatives, access to finance and research. With the right investment, policies, and protection for its farmers, Nigeria may be on its way from food insecurity to food sovereignty. Because in a nation so richly blessed, no one should go hungry.
If you order Bolt, InDrive, or Uber and you see this man run for your life.
Immediately I entered this man's car, there was something hanging in front of his mirror. It looked so fetish and...
But this same man picked me up, May 3rd, and he did the same thing.
Oh, chef Bolt, chef Uber, chef InDrive.
I'm getting scared because like, oh my God, what if he's the one? You guys, please be careful.
This is the man who goes around in Bolt, InDrive, and Uber, allegedly robbing women of their belongings, raping ladies in his ride, and pretending to offer safe transport while carrying knives, scissors, guns, and other weapons in his car.
This guy has pepper spray, he has gun, he has sharp weapons, whatever.
For months, young women have cried out, sharing stories of their painful encounters with this predator. They talk about how he allegedly threatens them, hurts them, and strips them not just of their possessions, but of their dignity.
And you're telling me I'm not with your food. He's like, you want me to kill you here? Immediately now brought out the knife. He was not holding the knife. He said he's going to stab me to death. Started diverting to another route. That do I have condom inside my bag? Look at what he was asking me. I said I don't have condom inside my bag. He now searched my bag that he's going to send my body in parts. That he already has people that will buy my body.
Despite these cries and warnings, he is still on the road. He is still picking up unsuspecting women and still moving through Uber, Bolt, and InDrive like a hunter, waiting for his next victim. And the most heartbreaking question remains, why is a man like this still allowed to drive? Why has no company taken firm action to protect the very people they promise safety to?
Uber are still allowing this man to drive after he has victimized a lot of girls. Every day they're going to complain about our riders. Every day.
So why would Uber and Bolt and InDrive allow a known criminal walk with them?
Will you be employing a highway robber to be on the highway picking people?
Every day that passes without justice is another day of risk for countless women. What use is technology if it cannot protect the vulnerable? What good is business when it ignores the cries of the broken? To the companies, the question is simple. How many more women must be hurt before you act? How many more tears must fall before you listen?
Please, Nigerian police, come to our help. Like, the government should look into it. Police, they should look into it. And even close to like 8 or more were saying, oh, I've inside this man car before, or I'm a victim, or I almost got kidnapped. What? The worst part of this issue is that it has been reported to the police, but police did nothing about it.
To every reader, this is not just a story. This is a call to wake up, a call to demand safety, a call to make sure that no man, no matter how cunning, is allowed to use the will as a weapon against women again. Because as long as this man is allowed to drive, every woman on the road is in danger.
The government is not doing anything. Somebody should do something about this guy.
Every single day, Lagos generates over 13,000 metric tons of solid waste, more than many African countries produce in a week. But less than half of this waste is properly collected or disposed, while the rest piles up in streets, markets, and growing dump sites across the city, turning communities into ticking time bombs. From Ojota to Agege, Ayobo to Yanoba, and across Lagos, waste is piling up faster than it can be managed, threatening both the health of residents and the environment.
Very, very hard, like just to...
Hello there, I'm glad to have you join us for the news, reports and updates on African News 24 TV. Let's start with the highlights first. Terrorist group Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP kills Nigerian Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP kills Nigerian Army Brigadier General after being abducted in an ambush in Borno State. Federal government condemns abduction of schoolgirls and killing of vice principal in Kebbi State. U.S. House of Representatives begin full-scale probe into allegation of Christian persecution in Nigeria. Let's begin on a rather sad note with the killing of a senior Nigerian Army officer, Brigadier General Task Force along the Damboa-Biu axis in Borno State. The terrorists ambushed the troops last Friday when they were transporting some military equipment. The ISWAP fighters reportedly opened fire on the military convoy along the road, leading to a gun duel between the troops and the insurgents. The army, however, debunked reports that the brigade commander was abducted, stressing that such reports were false and misleading. The army ordered that 2 CGTF operatives and 2 soldiers were killed during the gun battle. However, Reuters reported that ISWAP executed Uba after he was captured. The terrorist group, in a statement posted on its Amak propaganda channel, claimed responsibility for the ambush and said it had executed the military general. 25 schoolgirls have been reported abducted at the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, MAGA, in Kebbi State. The schoolgirls were taken away during an attack by gunmen on Sunday night in the school. More worrying is that the agents of death killed the school's vice principal before taking the girls away. The vice principal was reportedly shot when he put up a defense to protect the students. Aside from the vice principal, eyewitnesses say the attackers operated without resistance. Meanwhile, The federal government has condemned the attack on Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School Maga in Kebbi State, where 25 schoolgirls have been reportedly abducted by gunmen. Aside from the abduction, the gunmen also killed the vice principal of the school who was trying to protect the girls. In a statement signed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the federal government said security and intelligence agencies have been given clear directives to locate, rescue, and safely return the students, and to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice. The government expressed deep concern and solidarity with the families of the abducted students, saying it shares in their pain and remains firmly committed to securing the release of the girls. According to the minister, President Bola Tinubu has reiterated that protecting every Nigerian, especially school children, remains a solemn responsibility of the state. In the statement, the minister said, and I quote, "The government condemns the reprehensible attack on innocent students and the killing of school officials who were carrying out their noble duty. Our security and intelligence agencies have been issued clear directive to locate, rescue, and safely return the students, and to ensure that the perpetrators face justice. The federal government will not relent until this objective is achieved." End of quote. According to sources, the attackers killed the school's vice principal, Malam Hassan Makuku, before abducting several schoolgirls. In other news, but security related, about 3 weeks after the President of the United States, Donald Trump, designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, the U.S. House of Representatives Subcommittee has begun a full-scale probe. The lawmakers are probing the allegation of genocide against Christians in the northern part of the country. The open hearing, which will be on Thursday, is expected to examine Trump's claim and designation. And if it is ratified, the U.S. Senate will allow sanction on Nigerian officials found to be involved in religious persecution. In addition, the U.S. may be limiting certain forms of bilateral assistance. The outcome of the investigations will provide signals to the International Community on Nigeria's Religious Tolerance. The hearing is scheduled for 11 a.m. in the Rayburn House office building will be broadcasted live. It will admit senior U.S. State Department officials and Nigerian religious leaders. In a related development, American rapper Onika Maraj Petty, popularly known as Nicki Minaj, will be addressing the United Nations. Minaj is scheduled to speak at a United Nations event, will be making an address on the allegation of the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. She will be appearing alongside the ambassador of the United States to the United Nations, Michael Watts, and an advisor to the United States President Donald Trump, Alex Brosweiss. Trump's advisor, who is convening the event, has described the artist as not only arguably the greatest female recording artist, but also a principled individual who refuses to be silent in the face of injustice. Meanwhile, the Department of State Services has arrested an arms dealer in PLATEAU State, suspected to supplying weapons used in recent violent attacks across the region. Authorities said the arrest follows a month of intelligence-led investigations aimed at disrupting criminal networks and ensuring public safety. The suspect is currently in DSS custody, and officials are interrogating him to determine the extent of his involvement and identify any accomplices. Preliminary reports suggest that the individual has links to multiple incidents that have destabilized communities in PLATEAU State. The arrest has been welcomed by local leaders and residents who call for swift prosecution and reinforced security measures to prevent further violence. Still on arrests, the ONDO State Police Command has arrested a suspect in connection with the recent explosion in Owo that left residents shocked and injured. The arrest follows a series of investigations aimed at uncovering the motive and preventing further incidents. Authorities confirmed that suspect is undergoing questioning, with police working to determine if others were involved. The explosion, which struck at a busy part of the town, caused widespread panic and has reignited concerns about safety in public spaces. The incident has drawn reactions from community leaders and residents, many of whom called for swift action to ensure justice and prevent similar events. Officials stressed that the arrest underscores the commitment of law enforcement to protect lives and maintain peace, urging the public to remain vigilant and cooperate with authorities. Still on security matter, an autopsy has revealed that the Social Democratic Party candidate during the last governorship election in Ondo State, Bamidele Akingboyi, was deliberately killed, contradicting earlier suggestions of natural causes or accidental death. The findings have intensified calls for justice and a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding Akingboyi's demise. Authorities confirmed that forensic examination showed clear signs of foul play, prompting police to widen their investigation and explore potential motives and suspects. Officials described the revelation as a pivotal step in ensuring accountability and restoring public confidence in the security apparatus. The shocking report has sent ripples across the political landscape in Ondo State, with party members, civil society groups, and citizens demanding swift action. Observers have highlighted the need for heightened security measures for political figures, especially during an election period, to prevent further tragedies. Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has dismissed reports alleging an attempt assassination on Lieutenant AHMED YERIMA in Abuja, describing the claim as false and unfounded. The dismissal comes after news outlets and social media posts circulated that YERIMA was trailed by unidentified men dressed in black, traveling in two unmarked Hilux vans without number plates in Abuja. According to the reports, the pursuit began around 6:30 p.m. at the NIPCO filling station along the Kubwa Expressway and continued to Gado Nasco Way. YERIMA reportedly evaded the assailants through a strategic maneuver during a high-speed chase. The FCT Police Command spokesperson Josephine Ade in a statement said no such incident had been reported or recorded in Abuja. Ade urged the public to ignore the rumor and refrain from spreading unverified information capable of creating unnecessary fear and tension among residents. She also encouraged the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity to the nearest police division. Residents of Aguda and Okeira on Monday staged a peaceful protest in Lagos over the migration of their electricity feeders from Band C to Band A by Ikeja Electric. The communities say the adjustment has resulted in higher tariffs despite continued irregular power supply. They note that previous letters and petitions to the Lagos State Electricity Regulatory Commission and the State Commissioner of Police yielded no response, prompting them to take their grievances to the streets to demand urgent intervention.
It's a Monday morning and these residents of Aguda and Okeira are taken to the street in protest. Their grounds is the migration of the Okeira electricity feeder by Ikeja Electric from Band C to Band A. Displeased with that development, they said they wrote a letter to the Lagos State Electricity Regulatory Commission, LASEC, and followed it up with a petition to the Lagos State Commissioner of Police. 2 months after that effort, they are hitting the street in demonstration since their previous effort didn't yield the desired result.
They promised us, even the representative from the headquarters, they promised us that they will downgrade the feeder to Band C because we requested for Band C. They promised us by the ending of September they will downgrade us. Up to this moment, we could not see anything. Therefore, we decided that we should go and fight for our right.
The protest, which takes off from Ogba, moves all the way to LASEC headquarters in Alausa, that placard voicing their demands. On the list of their complaints are persistent tariff hike and unstable power supply, which they claim is taking a toll on their finances and on their businesses.
The return of good at I think KVA to ban A, which we don't want. That's why we are doing the protest now. We have written a letter. They have not got our request. We have sent letter to different offices. They have not got our request. We are tired of the hike in that payment. Band is a scam. We hardly have like 12, 13 hours in a day. Buying 1,000 naira unit, it will give us 4 units. We are tired.
We want them to take us back to Band C or Band B because you said that your system is in Band B and you are collecting Band A money for us. You say it's from feeder pillar. Who set up feeder pillar? It's not a human being. See, all this thing is very painful.
The representative of LASEC assured the protesters of solutions soon enough.
On behalf of LASEC, I'm giving you that assurance that yes, before the end of this week, probably we've stepped into the matter, then we'll give you feedback.
From this location, they head to the Lagos State House of Assembly demanding immediate intervention.
We say no to. We say no to. How we can avoid this?
Some of the tenants in our various places, they are fighting themselves. How much be their salary? When some people contribute 500 every night, they will just reach light from around 7 till 5 o'clock in the morning. So people are fighting themselves, mainly like that. So that's the reason why we say, okay, let us come out.
It's affected because I'm doing his handwork. I'm doing. I'm using lights, but now I'm just paying for nothing. But if there is light, definitely I will work. I will pay for the money for the lights, and I know that this light I'm paying for, I'm using it to work. I can pay. But when there is no light, nothing can happen. Most of the time, nothing you can put in the fridge. You sleep in the darkness.
The residents insist they will continue their engagement with authorities until the issue is resolved. They also call on the state government to intervene promptly, warning that prolonged inaction can worsen the hardship faced by households and small businesses in the affected communities.
Still electricity related, the National Union of Electricity Employees, NUEE, has threatened to halt operations nationwide following alleged attacks on staff at the Egbu substation in Imo State. The union claims that workers were assaulted, held at gunpoint, and abducted by police officers reportedly acting under directives from the Imo State government. NUEE also alleges that control room equipment were vandalized and workers' personal properties, including laptops, phones, and vehicles, were destroyed. CCTV cameras at the facilities were reportedly damaged during the incident. NUEE has demanded the immediate release of abducted workers, compensation for damaged property, and medical attention for injured staff. The union has also called on the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, the Federal Ministry of Power, and the Inspector General of Police to ensure the safety of electricity workers. In response to the incident, NUEE has altered operations in Imo State and warned that failure to meet its demands could result in a nationwide work stoppage, posing a risk to Nigeria's electricity supply, directing its members to stay away from work until further notice. As of now, the Imo State government and the police have not issued an official response to the allegations. Nigeria is taking bold steps to cement its position as a leading aviation hub in Africa, with government and private sector stakeholders gathering at the 2025 National Aviation Conference to set the future course of the industry. The event has become a platform for discussing investments, innovation, and global partnerships in the country's air transport sector. The conference brings together top officials including President Bola Tinubu, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, governors from key states, aviation regulators and industry leaders. Discussions focus on infrastructure, modernization, airport expansion, integrated transport systems, and strategies to attract international investors.
Nigeria is positioning itself as a global aviation hub, with government and private sector leaders converging at the 2025 National Aviation Conference to chart the future of the country's air transport sector. Speaking at the event, President Bola Tinubu, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, outlined the administration's vision to transform Nigeria's aviation industry into a globally competitive sector. He highlighted strategic investments in international terminals in Lagos and Port Harcourt, strengthened the regulatory oversight with the NCA and IATA, and the promotion of transparency to attract global investors.
And it is still growing in its vital role of connecting people and markets, driving tourism and trade, as well as supporting countless jobs across sectors.
Nigeria's governors highlighted aviation as a driver of economic growth, showcasing new airports, integrated transport systems, and regional investment opportunities across Lagos, Ogun, Imo, and Borno states.
It's about whether the investors can reach our market easily. It's about where our cargo moves effectively. And it's about whether tourism can truly flourish, and whether Nigerians at home and in diaspora can remain connected to connectivity.
Federal government has given us an opportunity for the establishment of African Intercontinental Free Trade Zone. And we are establishing a very mega industry close to the airport, industrial hub. You have seen a few days ago, we have launched our industrial park. Right now, commercial plastic pipes and others are being exported to neighboring countries.
We believe strongly that aviation is not just transportation. It is a catalyst for industrial expansion, agricultural competitiveness, tourism growth, and global market integration.
FAN has made a powerful declaration that the era of thinking only within the box is over. In this age of globalization, FAN has clearly shown that it is alive to the imperatives for growth and sustainable development.
Permanent Secretary to the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Dr. Ibrahim Abubakar Kana, who represented the minister, Mr. Festus Kiyamo, highlighted infrastructure modernization, including airport rehabilitation, world-class maintenance centers for Africa, and cargo and logistics hub to support agriculture and manufacturing exports.
Today, we are here to present a landscape rich with curated opportunities. Nigeria is not only a large market, it is a strategic aviation hub, and the investment priorities we present are structured, viable, and designed for private sector leadership.
The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Olubunmi Kuku reaffirmed FAN's commitment to customer-centric service, operational excellence, and infrastructure modernization.
This is not just a statistic, it is a signal of billions of journeys, connections, and opportunities waiting to be unlocked. At the heart of the opportunity lies Nigeria.
With these collective efforts, Nigeria aims to elevate its aviation sector through investments, innovation, and global partnerships, creating jobs, boosting tourism, and unlocking economic growth across the nation.
The Lagos State authorities have confirmed that popular actor Olanrewaju Omiyinka, known as Baba IJESHA, has been entered into the state's sexual offenders register. The listing follows his conviction on multiple counts of sexual assaults involving a minor. The Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency stated that all individuals convicted of sexual offenses are added to the register immediately after a court conviction. The development has been welcomed by child protection advocates, including the International Federation of Women Lawyers, who noted that public registrations of convicted offenders is a step towards safeguarding children. Lagos State authorities also clarified the claims, suggesting Baba IJESHA was cleared of his convictions are false, as the Lagos State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro San, said that while some older allegations were dismissed, the convictions upheld by the Court of Appeal remain valid, and his name will remain on the Sexual Offenders Register. And to politics, a faction of the People's Democratic Party, aligned with the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, summoned emergency meetings of its National Executive Committee and Board of Trustees. The faction says this will mark the 103rd emergency NEC meeting in the PDP's history. The convocation comes against the backdrop of deepening internal strife within the PDP, as several key figures, including Wike, Anyanwu, and former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, among others, were suspended for alleged anti-party activities at the party's national convention in Ibadan over the weekend. Meanwhile, the factional national secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Samuel Anyanwu, has rejected his expulsion from the party and strongly criticized the party's national convention in Ibadan, calling the event a jamboree and not a serious political gathering. He argues that the convention was illegitimate because 16 states are yet to hold their congresses and the entire southeast region was left out. He also claimed that even in the states that held congresses, the results were not submitted to INEC, which calls into question how representative the convention was. The rejection came after Anyanwu was expelled alongside all the major PDP members, including Nyesom Wike and Ayo Fayose, by a motion moved by former PDP Deputy National Chairman, Olabode George. However, Anyanwu insists the expulsion is not valid, saying it came from a committee that only recommended his suspension, arguing that he has a court judgment in his favor. And on to business. The federal government has opened the application portal for its new 50 million naira Student Innovation Grants, an initiative aimed at supporting undergraduate-led startups and research-based ventures in tertiary institutions across the country. Government officials say the grant, also known as the Student Venture Capital Grant, is designed to assist students in developing and commercializing innovative ideas, particularly in the field of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medical sciences. They also noted that the program is targeted at 300-level students and above in accredited Nigerian universities. The initiative is being implemented through the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, with the Bank of Industry providing financial oversight to ensure transparent disbursement and accountability. Beneficiaries are expected to receive not only funding but also access to mentorship, incubation services, and business development support to help scale their innovations. Government officials say the scheme aligns with broader efforts to strengthen Nigeria's transition towards a knowledge-driven economy and empower young people to become job creators. The federal government is talking about its plans to establish 500 compressed natural gas refueling stations nationwide within 3 years to reduce petrol use and support the shift to cheaper, cleaner fuel. The move follows an agreement between the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund and Chinese manufacturer Endurance Group. Executive Director Oluwole Adama said the partners will set up a new special purpose vehicle, the Compressed Natural Gas O2 Mobility Infrastructure Company, is deployed to deploy the stations, develop LCNG supply infrastructure, and operate a virtual pipeline using compressed natural gas and liquefied natural gas transport trucks. Officials say the project will expand access to gas-powered transport, ease pressure on fuel imports, and support President Bola Tinubu's energy security agenda, while creating jobs across the gas value chain. Civil society groups have backed the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, plan to phase out alcohol sold in sachets, PET bottles, and small glass bottles under 200 ml by December 2025. Organizations like the Network for Health Equity and Development and CAPA say the ban is overdue, arguing that cheap, easily accessible alcohol fuels substance abuse among youth, drivers, and vulnerable youth groups, leading to crashes, school dropouts, and other social problems. The support counters concerns from the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, which claims the policy will cause major job losses and halt investment. But the CSOs says these fears are exaggerated, noting that sachet alcohol production is largely automated and employs few workers. They also accuse manufacturers of raising economic arguments to undermine a policy based on scientific evidence and public health priorities. And on the foreign scene, a Russian missile strikes on the eastern Ukrainian city of Balaklia have left 3 people dead and at least 10 others wounded. This is according to local officials. Vitaly Karabanov, head of the city's military administration, said the attacks occurred overnight when 2 missiles hit the city center. He noted that emergency responders were still receiving calls about additional possible casualties under the uncertainty surrounding the full extent of the damage. According to Kharkiv Regional Governor Oleg Sinegubov, the wounded include a 14-year-old girl, a 12-year-old child, and a 61-year-old man, with 9 victims already transported to hospital for urgent medical care. The strikes form part of Russia's near-daily barrage of drones and missiles across Ukraine, a campaign that has intensified ahead of winter. Just days earlier, 7 people were killed when Russian forces targeted apartment blocks in Kyiv, prompting renewed concerns about civilian safety and the protection of critical infrastructure. And to Bangladesh, where a court has sentenced the country's ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to death after finding her guilty of crimes against humanity linked to violent crackdown on a student-led uprising that forced her from power in August 2024. The 78-year-old former leader, who has been in India and refused court orders to return to face trial, was convicted in absentia on 3 counts, including incitements, ordering killings, and failing to prevent widespread atrocities. The verdict, delivered by presiding judge Ghulam Mozunda, marks one of the most consequential rulings in Bangladesh's political history. The prosecution alleged that Hasina oversaw a brutal state response that left 1,400 people dead, according to United Nations estimates, as she attempted to hold onto power during her final months in office. The prosecutors have filed 5 major charges against Hasina under Bangladesh law, arguing that the scale of the killings and her failure to intervene met the threshold for crimes against humanity. Now to sports. Let's begin with the news of the Super Eagles captain Victor Osimhen, who has been named among the final 3 nominees for the CAF Men's Player of the Year award. Osimhen is recognized for his outstanding performances in domestic and international competitions this year. The nomination highlights his consistency, goal-scoring prowess, and influence on both clubs and national team levels. Osimhen pits against 2 other Africans, Mohamed Salah and Ashraf Hakimi, for the 2025 CAF Men's Player of the Year award. On a post on its X handle, CAF gave the final shortlist, reducing the contenders from the initial 10-man list. The winner will be unveiled at the 2025 CAF Award in Rabat, Morocco this Wednesday, November 19, 2025. Away from that, it is not a breaking news that the Nigeria Super Eagles would not be taking part in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This follows their defeat to the Democratic Republic of Congo in a runoff match. The Leopards of the Democratic Republic of Congo confirmed their place with a 4-3 penalty shootout win over the Super Eagles after a 1-1 draw at the end of the regulation time and 30 minutes extra time. The defeat to DR Congo ended months of permutations by Nigerians in the race to the 2026 World Cup, to be hosted by the USA, Canada, and Mexico. By that development, Nigeria has failed to make it to 2 consecutive FIFA World Cups in a row, having missed the party at Qatar 2022. Meanwhile, the coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Chell, has accused the Leopards of Democratic Republic of Congo of using black magic. Chell accuses DR Congo of using voodoo during the penalty shootout. He is of the opinion that supernatural tactics influenced the outcome of the match. The allegation has sparked controversy and debate among fans, sports analysts, and commentators. Some experts have dismissed the claim as superstition, while others suggest that such accusations could reflect the psychological pressure and tension experienced by players in high-stakes matches. Now to the entertainment news. Let's begin with the drama which unfolded at Asaba International Airport as popular social media personalities Very Dark Man VDM and Mr. Jollof came to blows during boarding on United Nigeria Airlines flight UN 0523. A video of the altercation quickly went viral, showing the two trading punches inside the aircraft. United Nigeria Airlines described the incident as a serious breach of its zero-tolerance safety policy, confirming that the duo was immediately deplaned and handed over to airport security to ensure the safety of other passengers. Eyewitness reports suggest the clash stemmed from an ongoing personal feud between the two influencers, which apparently spilled over from social media into real life. Meanwhile, authorities are now investigating the matter, while the flight departed safely after the disruption. Fans and followers have taken to social media to react, with many expressing shock as the usual showdown, tagging it as unacceptable. In other news, Nigerian Afrobeat sensation Fola has reached a major career milestone, surpassing 1 billion streams in what has been a defining year for the artist. The feat follows months of rapid growth, propelled by chart-topping singles, viral collaborations, and a rapid expanding global fan base. Industry insiders say Fola's rise underscores the growing international demand for Nigerian music, with its sound resonating across Africa, Europe, and the Americas. His team attributes the success to consistent releases, strategic partnerships, and a dedicated online community that has amplified his reach. As congratulations pour in from fans and fellow artists alike, our attention now turns to what next for Fola, with many anticipating even bigger moves as he solidifies his place among Afrobeat's most influential new voices. And finally, Singaporean authorities have sentenced an Australian national accused of staging a high-profile stunt involving pop star Ariana Grande during her recent visit. The incident, which quickly went viral online, drew strong reactions and prompted a swift response from law enforcement, who described the action as reckless and disruptive. Officials said the case highlights Singapore's firm stance on public misconduct, especially when such behavior targets celebrities and threatens public order. The episode has sparked wider debates about fan culture, personal boundaries, and the consequences of chasing online fame through stunts. And that's where we draw the curtain on this bulletin. Thanks for tuning in to African News 24 TV. Follow us on all our social media platforms, and please check our website at africannews24.ng to stay informed and ahead. We'll catch you on the next broadcast.